Can you see my slides fully?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is visible.
Okay. So basically, when we talk about current libraries, you have to understand that libraries are mainly divided in three major components. The first part is your basically digital library objects, which also contain all kind of your collections, contents, and metadata related to those contents, and various kind of uh, resources available within your print or online or in any other format, audio, video. Then we need to need certain tools to make these things disseminated, organized, and in that point of time you need to create online catalog, back opac, and all kind of digital repository. You need to subscribe online databases, all kind of open access repositories, and based using these tools you need to provide services. And now it's not just about cataloging search. It has come more about discovery. Like, it's more about navigation. It's not just searching. So you have to understand that nowadays libraries have changed, where it is not just finding out what is available in the library. It is about finding out what all is available in my area of interest. User wants, it's not just your library collection. User want to discover, user want to find out what all is available on my area of interest. It may be in your library print form, it may be in your subscription of form, it may be under open access, it may be in form of deep web search engines, various kind of deep web resources. So everything need to be understood in this context. uh, so first thing is you need to choose a good integrated library management system. There are plenty, but you have to select a software which suits most your requirements. It fulfill all your needs. It may be a commercial software, it may be open source. See, I'm not a person who always say that we should go for open source software. If your requirements are something which open source software cannot meet it, or you have resources or funds to go for a best available commercial software, I don't consider it is a bad decision, because ultimately your scope is to serve your users. So that is the first tool you need, and this is the basic tool, and it has various options. Like, you just want to use based on your server, you want to cloud based, you want to make it a union catalog, you want to integrate multi campuses and all those things. So now so many options are available. Next thing comes that inventory. We have number of tools, we have barcode, we have RFID. I'm not a very die-hard fan of RFID. RFID is an expensive system, and in my opinion, sometimes it is not within the reach of many libraries. See, except few things, a barcode can serve many of your purposes. So not necessarily what inventory or services you want to security and other things you want to do in your library, even barcode can do it. So if you have funds, go for RFID. If you don't have funds, go for barcode. Uh, except few things, one all the same. Now we are in the age of mobile technology, and mobile has become integral part of our life. So now whatever you are developing, it may be a website, it may be a catalog application, web it may be ebook services, it may be any kind of reference services, any kind of digital repository, any kind of virtual tool, any kind of event, all kind of accessibility. You have to consider two things which are very important, that your search mechanism should be accessible through a mobile, and second thing, it should be inclusive, means it should be accessible to the person with disability, blind, or with any other disability. So there are two things which you have to these tools are very very important. Like all applications should be designed in such a way that you should meet the needs of your users. Then now one very important tool is emerging is artificial intelligence. Whatever, like we started our journey from register catalog, then move to the card catalog, then move to computerized catalog, then move to the web opac, now discovery, web scale discovery, and so on. We don't know where we'll go. So now this AI has become an integral part of all kind of applications. So how to integrate AI in? It is not necessary that, or it may not be possible to integrate everything with AI. And it is basically very very important decision that do you want to use AI or not. IoT. IoT has revolutionized the internet. Internet, which was just a email communication system, has now emerged as a multimedia system, a very very interactive, or it has become such an uh, essential tool for e-commerce or any kind of uh, accessibility or digital repository. So what are the implications of IoT? I think you need to understand, because IoT, which leads to industry 4.0, then also responsible for education 4.0. So you need to also understand the IoT. Lot of innovations are taking place in particularly in uh, universities and institution of excellence like IITs, IIMs. So you have to really think of facilities and services which are beyond just routine services. It may be digital knowledge bank, language lab, social networking tools, research citation system, open access portal, institutional archive, all kind of virtual tours. So all these new and innovative facilities to be provided in the libraries. And when you talk about potential of AI in education, I think it is immense. And but I think this we should go slow on that. We can only help in certain ways to the people in different AI based applications. Our role is of uh, like we have to achieve the basic task of making our libraries modern libraries. Many of libraries have still not achieved that objective. AI comes later. So there are so many tools, AI based tools for academia, and I think as a librarian you should be familiar with that. Like chat GPT has become such an important tool for everybody, that writing in a small letter or report or Facebook post or any kind of uh, uh, content generation, it does so quickly that, and very very sometimes very thought provoking. But my only advice is that AI is a machine learning kind of tool. You have to use your own brain when you first check the contents generated by AI, because there are going to be many gaps. It may not be the perfect one. You have to edit it before using it or circulating it or disseminating it. So there are so many AI tools. As a librarian, you may not be using each and everything, or a library professional, you may not require to use everything, but you should know about it. You should know how to help your users in that context. Now we are not just talking about digital library services, we are also talking about long term preservation. So this digital data curation or uh, project like locks, all that has become very very important in this context. Now, when we talk about augmented or immersive technologies, see, nowadays there is a word called GLAM, galleries, libraries, archives, and museum. So, augmented reality or virtual reality has more implications for image based or video based or photographs, audio, the kind of collection objects. So, it is more suitable for galleries, museums, uh, rather than libraries and archives. And it also help in many ways in achieving certain tasks, like developing digital stories, enhancing the exhibition outlay, developing interactive tours, historical reconstruction of various uh, issues, things in the library, language learning. There's so many important things of augmented reality, which is having also virtual reality or immersive technologies. So you have to if you are working in a museum, library, or galleries, might need to understand all this. So now services have become key. Like when you are serving your users, it is very very important that like how to make your user your loyal fans, like how to what kind of strategies and marketing is not always to earn something to revenue. Marketing in library is more about promotion, promoting your collections, your services, your facilities, and making your user more user friendly. So these were the some of the glimpses of the new and emerging technology, the kind of tools uh, available in the library. So modern libraries looks like that, and I'm sure many of you have seen these photos on internet. So now I will focus more on one particular component of, like when we are talking about the redefined library. I will take one component out of these, that is learning. Learning, what libraries are all about. Libraries are learning places, the learning spaces. And if you see the new education policy here, I would like to advise you that now in new education policy as well as in the overall scenario, there is a lot of focus on the learning. So libraries are more of a learning center than, I don't believe in the nomenclature of knowledge management center. I always say these are libraries are learning resource center, learning knowledge center. So learning has become key in the current context. It may be self learning, it may be mutual learning, it may be group learning, lifelong learning, digital learning, e learning, deep learning, teaching and learning. See, a teacher spent 45 minutes or 1 hour, 2 hours in a classroom to introduce something. To understand that topic, student has to spend a lot of hours in the libraries for learning, internet and learning, libraries as a learning resource center, librarians as a facilitator of learning source center, teacher library. I've seen a debate on one of the WhatsApp groups recently that librarian is a teacher, or see, every librarian is a teacher. You cannot be a good librarian without having understanding of teaching and learning, uh, because you cannot help a user without you should have some kind of those uh, qualities and qualifications of a teacher. And why learning has become so important? Because this internet of things, it is basically giving us new perception about internet. use of technologies. Like uh, it it talks about uh, new education. That's the education 4.0, uh, which is known as future of education, where man and machine align to enable new possibilities. Harness the potential of digital technologies, personalized data, open source content, and new humanity. This globally connected technology fueled world. It establishes a blueprint for the future of learning, lifelong learning, from childhood schooling to continuous learning in the workplace to learning to play a better role in the society. I share my personal experiences. Like I did my chemistry honors. After that, I joined masters in computer chemistry in Delhi University. But same time, I saw a course in computer science at Jamia. I joined that computer science, and I got my B.Liv and computer science degree together. Later, I did masters and PhD in library science. So basically, these are my qualifications. But when I learned this computer science in university, I was taught basic Photon, COBOL, Pascal, DWACE 3++, which now nobody knows about it, and I also not used much in my life. So, and then whatever I have learned through self-learning, through lifelong learning concept. So every time you need not to go to school or college for a degree or updating your knowledge. In your workplace, you need to learn every day. So that workplace learning, the research and learning, that become part of your self-learning system, mutual learning system, and that libraries are the best place to give that. So what is education 4.0? Anywhere, anytime access. It is not necessary to go to school or colleges. That's the concept. And everybody needs its personalized information with flexible delivery. There is a concept of peers and mentors, not the teachers. Teachers have the, and if you see our Indian mythology, our gurus were peers and mentors. They were not teachers. Now it's more about practical applications. It's more about ownership, student ownership. It's not about evaluation. It is an exam system is now changing. It's more about evaluation, not examination. So with this for education 4.0 environment, e-learning tools facilitate opportunity for remote self-paced learning, flipped classroom where theoretical part is learned outside the classroom. It involves personalized learning, blended learning, flipped classroom, and bring your own device culture, project-based learning and working, students to obtain real-world skills that are representative of their job, courseware platform which assist students' capabilities at each step. Student ownership, mentorship will become fundamental to student success. So see, all these things being talked here, many of these things are being fulfilled through library, by visiting library or by accessing library. So library has become a central focus of education 4.0, and libraries are emerging as a learning resource center. It has multiple tasks and roles like identification of print and non-print learning resources, identification of relevant digital learning resources, acquisition of e-books, e-journals, and online databases, open educational resources, open courseware, open access resources, and these tools and services, indexing, abstracting, locating, searching, selection, evaluation. Entire concept of librarianship has changed. It is not just uh, from cataloging to indexing, because now it's more about indexing. Cataloging, basically, like when we talk about cataloging, we just thought of rules. Now, for indexing, you are not much concerned about that. Where author will come, where title will come. From such use of technology, it can field can be selected from anywhere. And now it's not just guiding a teacher, a student, or the user that this book is available on this shelf. It is more than that. User is not looking for information from you to locate a resource. No, he can find out, or she can find out itself. You have to help them much beyond that. So librarians as a facilitator of learning as well as a teacher, acquisition of relevant quality learning resources, user-oriented education, provide access to information resources through efficient and well-guided system for organizing, retrieving and circulating information resources, virtual referencing, information literacy, media literacy, e-research literacy, teaching and learning, mutual learning, group learning, building an information literacy research community, and provide additional assistance to students, particularly helping in their learning needs or abilities or enhancing their learning abilities. And in libraries, learning commons have become more important. It's no more silent zone. Libraries are no more silent zone. It's a collaborative zone, it's a social learning zone, it's an individual study zone. It has become a different component in that. So basically, to understand this learning, we have to understand what exactly learning is means. So basically, learning as the activity or process of gaining knowledge or skill by studying, practicing, being taught, or experiencing something. The activity of someone who learns knowledge or skills gained from learning. So see in this entire definition, being taught. That's the only engagement with the teacher. Rest all studying, practicing, experiencing, everything comes under self learning, mutual learning, group learning, not teaching and learning. What learning process is all about? Basically, a process of engaging and manipulating objects, experiencing and conversation in order to build mental model of the world. See, basically, uh, you learn from the new activities. You update your knowledge with the uh, certain information if you have prior knowledge of that. So, this entire learning process, if you analyze, it has a lot of role for libraries and librarians. If you see the learning style also, verbal learning, visual learning, musical, auditory, physical, combination, solitary, social, logical, all these component, all learning styles, every individual have different learning style as per the profession, qualification, uh, industry experience, and all those things. Self learning. What is that self learning? If you see this Einstein statement, I never teach my pupils, I only provide the conditions in which they can learn. Actually, all education is self education. A teacher is only a guide to point out the way, and no school, no matter how excellent, can give you education. What you receive is like the outline in a child's coloring book. You must fill in the yourself. So ultimately, what is the meaning here? That a student or anybody who want to learn something, the teaching classroom teaching has a minimum role. Rest all about self learning or mutual learning, and that's why the library's role is very crucial in that. Mutual learning, learn from each other. So this is the very very important for libraries. Why you need libraries? Like many people talk about, when everything is available on internet, why you need a library? This is the answer. Mutual learning is the answer to that. That when, like I always say, that in a university there should not be any departmental library. There will be only one central library in every university or institution. Why I am saying that? Because now we live in an interdisciplinary world and people learn from each other. When the two minds interact, there is always possibility that they learn a lot of things. So in this context, like this mutual learning has become such a crucial part of library services. I share my experiences. In JNU, I created a forum called JNU Forum for Mutual Learning. This was a group of student, faculty members, and what they do, in every Saturday, I was providing them library room, a committee room, and they were having different academic activities. Like one student is delivering talk, another student is chairing the talk. Many times, vice chancellor was attending those talks. Many teachers were attending those talks. They organize seminars, conferences, meetings. Like they organize a seminar on Harry Potter, and students from at least 20 colleges and universities participated in this seminar on. And what they discussed, different, like Harry Potter in the context of humanity, in the social sciences, in terms of science, various parameters of that Harry Potter. So acting and its other. So this mutual learning can be ensured when you are ensuring that all your group of students or teachers or group of users are interacting and they are learning from each other. That's why group discussion room is very essential nowadays in library, because many assignments, many kind of projects, homeworks, many things are being done in a group discussion mode. So in this context, like many times they need more than one live book. They may need 20 books to consult or refer. And libraries have to think of providing group discussion rooms where students can sit and discuss and work on their issues. Lifelong learning, we all know that it is the integral part of like our life. And even now, if you see the university grants chairman, he's talking about digital university, and there are many things have been talked about lifelong learning. And as I given my example that uh, when I was in IMT Ghaziabad, I developed expertise in re-engineering management. When I went to uh, GNU, I developed expertise on research and publication ethics. And now at IGNCA, after joining IGNCA, I become an expert on cultural heritage. I become the director of National School of Drama, although I don't have any qualification uh, in theater. And I successfully headed and managed as a director of National School of Drama. That was a kind of honor for my knowledge and my creativity. Uh, Although when I took over and I was given the charge, many people talked about that a librarian has been made the director of a prestigious institute like National School of Drama. But later they realized, they understood that yes, I have capacity and capability to manage a institute like National School of Drama. This all learning, how it came, like it came as a self learning or mutual learning or lifelong learning, because I was not having any qualification in theater, but I learned a lot from environment, from the books, from the literature, from the internet, and I'm able to understand the needs and the emerging scenario and all those things about theater. So that's the kind of like librarians role, that how they help their students reading and learning. Now see this flow chart. uh, Online learning resources, and now this multimedia format has become like in library. You just don't need just books only, you need a lot of different kind of resources. And basically when a class is over, to understand that topic student need to devote multiple times. So in this reading and learning process, student learn something from teaching, but many things from the reading and learning. We all know that teaching and learning is a very very important concept for classroom teaching. During this COVID, we have seen that online learning, but still we feel that no, this internet learning or online learning was not complete. There was something missing in that. So in this context, like blended learning has become more uh, useful, and being like advocated largely as a tool, better tool for learning. When blending learning combine of classroom learning as well as online learning, which combine both together. E-learning, we all know that here in e-learning, libraries play a very important role in creating open educational resources, in disseminating information about MOOCs and other platforms, and also uh, helping university and institution in developing the various kind of OER repository, and also helping connecting the users with lot of OER resources available. Like in India, we have uh, NPTEL, we have complete Sakshat portal and NCRT. All kind of these OER resources available worldwide. As a librarian, you should know about it because users may not be aware of that. You are supposed to know each and every learning resource in all discipline, in sciences, in social sciences, and in humanities. Whatever learning resources are available in the world, you have to ensure that uh, you should know about it. As a librarian, it is very very important for you to know all OER resources. Definitely e-learning and traditional both have its own advantages and disadvantages, but definitely as a librarian you have to promote both, because if you see the statics of the books, still majority of the books are published in the print format, but all journals are available in electronic form. So as a librarian, you know the advantages and disadvantages of learning and e-learning and traditional learning, but you have to promote both. You have to develop tools and technologies for both. You also need to educate student about digital learning, because many of the youngsters, particularly school student and college student, they don't understand the nitty gritty of e-resources. So e-resources management is very very important, and digital learning is something which sometimes hesitate people hesitate, and they don't accept everything every time. So in this context, I think you have to make it more attractive, and all these digital learning innovations tools, you should have understanding as well as per the needs of the library. You should have all those digital learning innovations facility in your library. New education policy is talking a lot about experiential learning. What is that experiential learning? Experiential learning is something when you learn from something uh, which is more of a visual content, which is more of a narration, storytelling, or something through certain situations. You are being put to a certain situation, uh, and by observing, by understanding all those things, uh, you are experiencing it, and that experience converted into the learning process. So video journals have been started. If you see a lot of subject area, particularly in science and technology, now there is a concept of video journals. There are a lot of new technologies are emerging, which take care of experiential learning. Sometime like through storytelling session also. So, what is the cycle of experiential learning? Generally, you explore something, then you experience, then connect, and then you uh, share and reflect. Now I'm coming to the last part of my presentation, which is everyday business of yours, internet and learning. See, now libraries accept print books. Most of things are in online mode. So what you need to provide? You need to provide round the clock facilities to your users, to your all e-resources, online databases, courses specific web pages, library website, and your portal should be such a good, beautifully designed that it explain each and every component of your resources. But at the same time, you should also guide and educate your users, because what happens, users are mostly searching on Google. You have to educate them about various kind of issues in Google, like Google or any other standard search engines provide access to just 15 to 20% web contents. What about rest 80 to 85% web contents? You have to look for some other option like deep web. And when you search on Google, uh, it does not certify the authenticity of the information. Information is fake or correct, Google will never tell you. By searching on Google or any other standard search engine, you may not get most relevant results in higher relevancy ranking. Like I am accessing top open access journal, and the first result is Omega. This is basically a predatory publisher. So I'm asking Google to give me the top open access journal, and I being referred to a predatory publisher. And so much is available on Google. Like you cannot uh, search or find out. So basically, we need to understand that internet is very important, but it is not a library where only authenticated resources are being available or being accessible. Other than that, it is very important for you as a librarian to create facilities for person with disabilities. This is mandate also as per the Act 2012 Act Disability Act. It is important. It is also necessary that you have to provide facilities for person with learning disabilities. Learning disability means a disorder in one or more of the basic psychological processes involved in understanding or in using language spoken or written that may manifest itself in the imperfect ability to listen, think, speak, read, write, spell, or do mathematical calculation, etc. So all these disabilities like dyscalculia or dysgraphia, dyslexia, uh, oral written disorder, or even person with impaired, visually impaired. These all are learning disabilities. So you have to create facilities and services for them. Print disability is mostly person with blind disability. So you have to create equitable access by creating collections which are uh, accessible. Accessible means like when person with visual disability search, it will be searchable file. It should not be image file, because when they use screen reading softwares, and when you put something in image format, screen reading software cannot decipher it, so they can't, they don't know what is there in screen image. So in this context, what digital skills for library professionals are required? You have to basically learn a lot about new and emerging technologies, trends, new trends in digital library, open access initiative, various kind of licensing and copyright issues, ethical consideration, digital information, resource management. Uh, Data management is something which is also very important in coming time. Data organization, data cleaning, data analysis, creation of data repositories, data visualization, data share, reuse, and also digital content creation. There is kind of online tutorials, research guides, multimedia presentation, and social media post. And long-term digital preservation tools and techniques also need to be understood. Technology integration, like mastering in virtual collaboration protocol, new technologies. Information literacy or media literacy is very key. Literacy is research, e-research literacy is very key. And same time, you also need to be aware about various issues concerning cyber security, how to help yourself, how to protect yourself, how to help users, how to educate user about the cyber security. So all these things are need of the modern days librarian, and our schools, library science schools, are not doing this all. So always library science student have to look for uh, some kind of in-house training or self-learning or mutual learning, because like most of things what I am speaking to you, what I have been learned, I have learned in a self-learning environment, myself, using books and internet, and through mutual learning with experiential learning. But I strongly believe that our courses should be fully revised, and in new education policy, library science discipline should become more of a technology orientation than just a theoretical one. Definitely, theory is important, but all these thing components should be added. So, lot of learning should be done, and I always say that now libraries' name should be changed to learning resource centers, and I'm sure whatever I have spoken, it is all focusing on library as a learning place, learning librarian as a learning facilitator of learning, and definitely lot to be done in this area. I think if you able to get few things out of my presentation, that is good enough. Let's hope that I'm able to give you some food, few concrete or good ideas to do it. Let me just stop share my presentation and we'll come to the screen. These are my email IDs for any further questions or clarification. And let me come back to the studio to just see if you have any question or clarification. Thank you for listening.
Sir, thank you very much. You have given a lot of inputs for all of us, and especially the key point of your talk was the learning, and another one, that is the education 4.0. It was really very, I think, interesting to learn about the different types of learning, digital and tools, AI tools, and lot many more inputs you have given, sir. I think it is going to be beneficial for all the professionals. And you have rightly pointed out, sir, that we have to focus more on the learning. Unless or until we improve our learning style and learning skill, we would not be able to make best use of our resources and services for our library users. Any question from the participants? I request, please just drop your question in the chat box, and if it is taken up by the sir, then sir will be answering the queries. Sir, one question I am getting from Dr. C. Prasad Panda. Will you take up, sir, this question? Shall
Yeah,
I
yeah, please.
dis- Sir, he has some different question. Please advise us how we can provide best services to user with less budget.
Very good question, and I think that we should learn because India is a country where, if you see our household, we try to manage it with minimum resources. So it is possible in the libraries also. First of all, understand your resources, what you have, and many things need initiative, not the resources. Like even with your mobile, see, I will tell you example. In 90s, I was using desktop. I started using laptop in 2003 until 2000. Let me say about 14, 15. Laptop was very essential. Then suddenly iPad become my tool, and till 2000, like maybe 21 or not 21, maybe before COVID 18, 19, iPad was very essential for me. But now what I can do, everything I can do with this mobile. Now see how things are changing. Like uh, my most of email responses and lot of things are like in a meeting I'm using this mobile only. Rest of my gadgets have become like desktop. I have already used in so many years. So how this is possible? Because first you should have understanding like what resources you have. Even if you have a small mobile, you can serve a user a lot. And nowadays mobile is something very reasonably available. First thing, we should learn what are the needs of our users and what are the resources available in our library. Then under educational resources, under open access. And nowadays, like even connectivity is very good. Like if you ask any librarian friend, nobody say, because still we are not having that much that kind of international rules and regulations. Still we provide interlibrary loan facilities to the many, like so first thing is that you should be updated about various resources, tools and technologies. If you are familiar with that, uh, then second thing is that how to make it available to the users. Like for example, I have automated a library with Excel software, Microsoft Excel software. Because I don't have money to buy a software that time. In I'm talking about not today, 1992 or 93. I was talking. So that time softwares were so expensive, but I automated library using Microsoft Excel only. So basically, to do something more, desire is required. It's more about your efforts rather than money. Money comes later only. And many times we waste our time and energy in looking for funds, which is I strongly believe that no, this is not the right thing. So as a librarian, you should learn how to manage uh, with available resources. Budget may be less, but uh, if you move around, if you look around, there's so many things are freely available to you.
Yes, sir. You have rightly pointed out, sir, that we have to keep upgrading our skill and also should know that how we can make use of our resources with our own efforts without using the budget and all. And if you allow me, sir, I will be sharing one picture just to show to the participants, which I have taken from my this slide. I will just share. I hope my slide is visible to you all. I Is it visible, sir?
Yes, yes.
Yes. I just want to draw the attention of all the participants to support the sir, what sir has mentioned in his talk, that this is the time of upgrading our skill. Let us not be the ancient crow, let us be the new crow, where the crow is drinking the water by sitting on the chair, because he has developed some such a nice straw that though there are pebbles inside the pot, but he is able to manage drinking, and he is able to drink water. So we have to just develop the skill, and sir has rightly pointed out that we have to focus more on learning. So sir, thank you very much for accepting the invitation and also giving such a nice talk covering all the issues. And you have just justified the theme of the workshop which we have chosen, redefining libraries with digital tools. So I'm 100% sure that this talk is going to be beneficial for many young professionals and all of us. So, on behalf of all the participants, sir, once again, sincere thanks to you for joining us, guiding us, and in future also we expect that such inputs we will be getting whenever required for the benefit of profession and our own benefits.
See, I'm leaving for Mongolia day after tomorrow, and I was extremely busy. But there are few people in my life, like I will always see that who is inviting me, with what intention, and what that person is doing. That's matter. And I know you have been doing such a selfless work in the for the
Thank you,
profession.
sir.
You are so
Thank you
dedicated.
very much.
So, despite of my busy schedule, I was not able to say no to you. And
Thank you, sir. Thank you very
that's
much.
your persona, because you're really doing very good work. Keep doing good work, and this profession needs many people like you to uh, contribute and do this kind of selfless service. All the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your kind words, encouraging words. We will definitely keep doing for the benefit of all of us. So, with these words, sir, thank you again. Thanks to all the participants.